Hello again. All right, well, we did, if you were following me in my previous video, where we did this purplish kind of a, purple and bluish kind of a flower. This time I'm going to do more in a peachiest color. So the first thing we're going to do is let's use this color here, which is a light peach. And what we're going to do, now there are different ways to do flowers. You can do them like this where they're wispy. You can have the area here where it's lighter and just shade the tips. You can do the bases and the tips and leave the middles all clear. So there's lots of ways to do it. And I'm not really sure how I want to do this one. I think I'm going to kind of use this technique since we're learning this technique, but let's use it and so I could show you how we could do it with different colors, okay? So what we're going to do is let's just base it in using that same really light, wispy flicking technique that I taught you before. And we're just going to put in your base of the peach color. And again, leaving some areas lighter and some areas darker. This color is really light, so I hope it shows up on the video, but it should. This is also the color I use when I do skin. Great. Actually, these are the exact colors for this flower as I do use for skin. So a lot of times. Sometimes I'll use a little bit more pink, but so see, you just put the colors in, leave some areas darker, put a little pressure on your pencil in some areas. And this is a really light color, but this is just the base. And so just do this all the way around. So now, after you put in your base of your flowers, see how I left some of it like kind of white, and you know, it's kind of a wispy, same kind of effect as this technique. It just leaves a nice kind of a airy type of a feel. So now we got to start putting in the shading. So let's use this pencil here. This one is peach. You just your basic peach here. I don't know if this shows up, but it is your peach. So I can't see the number. My eyes are so bad these days. 939. I just kind of I don't know if you guys look with the number or the color of the pencil or both, but anyways, okay, so now what we're going to do is let's start putting in some of the shading. And I do the same the same exact way. So by now you should be getting pretty good at this and feeling really kind of confident with your coloring. These worksheets are really good too, because you could just practice different color schemes and different ways to color before you put them in your book. So this is really great to practice on. So just continue putting in your colors a little darker in some spots again. And now we're starting to get a little bit more of the depth, a little bit more, because this is a good blending color. And we'll just add that all the way around, same exact way. Okay, so now we're going to add this one, the 939, which is a little bit of a darker peach. And just put it in the same way, just in specific little areas where you feel that you would like to have a little bit more shading. And just, I'm this one here, I'm just same way, just layering it in, kind of going around little circles to blend it together. And then, you know, my normal wispy motion. So I kind of use a mixture of techniques, you know, but the thing is though, is you want to keep a light touch. When you want it darker, just keep going over it. You could push a little harder, but you don't want to push too hard, because then it kind of ruins your paper, and also it makes it so you can't put any more layers on, because it smushes the little teeth down that are on the paper itself. So just keep going around the same way like this, and where you want it darker in some areas for a little accent, you just add the color in, so, and do that same thing all the way around. So now when this is done, we're going to add in some nectar, which is 1092. And this, like I say, this is also really good skin colors, but they make really pretty flower colors too. So I just put the nectar in where you want, again, to add a little bit of the shading. And just lay it in like so. And put darker in some spots. So just keep creating your shades according to how you feel at that time, you know, and also you can determine too where your light source is depending on, you know, the book that you're coloring in. So if it's just a regular, you know, flower on like a normal sunny day and there's no shading or anything like that, or the flower's not underneath something, then these colors would be fine. And then if you want more shadowing, more shadows, then you would just put the little darker, make it the flowers a little darker. So just go along. It's kind of hard because I got to hold this phone up with one hand and do with another hand. So this might not be my best coloring, but you got the idea, okay? So just go through here and put in your nectar color, and we'll do more colors after that. Now that this is done, let's go ahead and add 1033. This is mineral orange. And this, as you can see here, I put a little bit down here before I turned on the phone. doing like kind of like circular motion. So just go through and do this throughout the rest of your flower, and then we'll do yet another color.